emotional authority. And so this is like 47 to 50% of the population. Will kind of change depending on the year, but basically half of all of the people out there are emotional authority. And that means there's no truth in the now because they're always somewhere on this wave. So emotional authority takes precedence over all other authority centers. The emotional wave requires that you must wait for clarity. There's no truth in the now, and truth reveals itself fully only over time. It emerges eventually, and you have a sense of clarity. So, with emotional authority, patience is key. There's no truth in the moment. Spontaneous decisions are untrustworthy and are a signpost to the not self trying to make that decision. And emotional authority needs more time to better allow the clarity to develop. So, wait for calm waters before making decisions. Like with our little graphics I picked out, it's like you're, a ship or a buoy out on the ocean and the waves are going up and down and up and down. And if you're going to, decide what you're doing when you're on a high wave, but then, a day later you're going to be low, you got to wait for the oceans to kind of find their clarity and even out.
So when you get to this internal emotional authority and this thing moves on a wave, anybody who knows anything about regular sort of simple science, it is the wave. It's the wave principle. It is any wave. That note of A 440 until A has gone A up 440 and then A all the way down 440 as a cyclical wave. Do we even hear it as a note yet? You never hear half a note, right? Think about that. And you don't have half an emotional wave, really. You have movement that must go in both directions before the truest of clarity is going to be there. Now, if you're emotional and you're watching this, you have emotional inner authority, you have that definition. If you've looked into this, you know what channel is defining it, so you got a sort of an idea of what that is coming in. You watch this. It will follow this pattern every single time. And that's the low side that is a turbulent place that definitely not to make a decision, but to witness the capacity for the creative output to start to brew and gestate, and this ground inside that becomes fertile and it's ready to just spring up with everything. So before you let it spring up with weeds, and definitely before you put some chemical weed killer on it, don't do that. You know, just witness. The witness seeing actually transforms it. Remember, passenger consciousness. We sit in the back seat. What does the backseat driver do, right? Looks out the window. This is the story Rob would always tell. What are they doing with the emotional wave? You're witnessing it. You're in the back seat that's taking you on a ride. And when you finally get to clarity, you'll see it. And you'll be like, this is way more clear. And by the way, if you're going to journal this or at least take some notes on your life, witness over the course of 6 months or so that every time you don't do it, you pay. You pay. Or if you don't pay, it's through careful like skating on shaky ice that's too thin and either way it's you pay. Start to witness that because emotional clarity that comes as an awareness from the emotional wave moving and up, down, and then back up again from hope to pain and then back again. You need that because at the end of it, the clarity becomes steadfast, almost in a way as steadfast as the ego can make a commitment. The emotional clarity can say, not for me. And then all the enticement and all the peer pressure in the world and all the other stuff is clear, or however way it goes, or yes, it is for me, or move that absolutely go that direction. That's where I'm headed. All these things become steadfast with just as much commitment power as a defined will type decision in the now, with the exception of the defined will is definitely going to need to sleep at some point and rest and be done with the day. But this emotional process, depending on how much you let it flow, could last the rest of your life as it relates to, the mind held on to it over all of time. Spleen saw it was true for you. Will sees it doesn't even have to prove it anymore. It can just take part. This is a steadfast place, this clarity. So no truth in the now, but plenty of truth flowing in, and then good truth real soon. And even if you have a sacral, you got tons of truth flowing in right now, right? Let's say you're a sacral being, tons of truth flowing in right now, but none of it is the full decision worthy truth. It's just truth now. Yeah, I know, I totally don't like that. Oh, but I do like this. Well, and I put them both together, now I don't like it again. Yeah, sacral will keep telling you maybe, however, that was supposed to work along the way. And you witness it, and you also witness, oh my God, my sacral is driving on a river of my emotional up and down wave. that must complete a cycle because you never hear half a note.
Yeah, emotional authority, it's like it's those snapshots, but it's not the entire picture book. Like
Hmm.
you're getting a sense of like, here's where it's at right now, but that doesn't mean it's telling the entirety of the story. So like emotional authority is very like sleep on it. Like allow yourself before you're agreeing to something of like, I can't make that decision yet. I need a little bit of time. Let me sleep on it. I'll get back to you when I know, and just give yourself that out, because if you agree to something when you're in the high wave and then a week later like, why did I agree to that? Now I have to do it. You're feeling awful. It wasn't meant for you. Nothing works out kind of thing.
Right. And it's that thing you can count on it being that way. That's what I'm saying. If you journal this, or at least if all you have to do is really be paying attention, willing to see it. And then, the next time it happens, you'll have a distinct recollection of the last time it happened. And even if you just do it that way, you will see, geez, I better wait for this thing. And the temptation to try and avoid the feeling of the lowness, sometimes it feels like edging on despair, or it could be there, or it feels like a hopelessness, or just this low funk of melancholy that is like deep inside you, and you don't like it, is what I'm trying to get at. You don't want it. And that's your feeling about it. That can never be the place by which you say, no more of this, and you make that decision, and you drop that hammer, and you lower that boom. No can do. There's no room. You can't have it. It will fall in the wrong place for you, and you'll see. By the way, do it anyway, but do it with the awareness of the passenger in the back seat that's witnessing. Okay, let's see how this guy says it's not going to work out. Let's see if that's true. Watch it for yourself. You'll see. You want the steadfast, by the way. It's so fulfilling. It's so much better. It's like worth waiting for.
Yeah,
You
and
wait a
being
little
able
longer, you'll have all the sprinkles on top. If we go to the next friendlies, they have all the sprinkles on top. So I wait.
I was gonna say also recognizing the kind of like viscosity of the emotional wave. So
Mhm.
I'm not emotional, so I don't know what it's like to have an internal emotional wave, but I know what it's like to be around emotionally defined people and what my amplified, distorted experience of that is, where it's like it literally is a wave. There's a viscosity to it of like a heaviness to this liquid. And so when someone is high in their emotional wave, it's so bubbly, it's like champagne, or like when they drink the fizzy lifting drink in Willy Wonka and they go floating. It is so bubbly and happy and bouncing, like, oh my God, this feels great. I love when the emotional people are happy. On the converse, when the emotional people are in a heavy, bad, dark, whatever place, it is like molasses. It is heavy, it is syrupy, it is consuming. It feels like you're going to drown in it. And so, for everyone, emotionally defined or not, to recognize that. So, like Danny said, we can observe it. When we observe it, it changes. To recognize with the emotional wave that there's this viscosity of high, bubbly and low and heavy. And so if you can kind of witness it, if it's your authority, recognize, hey, I'm in a high place. Let's not commit to something. Hey, I'm in a low place. Even if I feel low, it's going to go back up again, and realize that changing nature of the wave.
That again, cyclical. The note always plays, meaning it does always go back up, just like it always goes back down. Trust that part too. So you can stop waiting for it to stay up and hoping, or dreading that it went down and hoping there that it stops, like on your time. Quit looking at it that way. That's not how it works. It never stops. And then you become rich and wise from it. Quit complaining.
And just commit to your houseboat life.
Yes, 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 yes. Please. That houseboat is actually a good thing, because as it goes up and down, they get to view from all around. The rest of us are stuck on a plain, straight, flat line, awaiting to see all the more that the emotional process and awareness gives us. Emotional authority is the aspect in us that gives us clean emotional awareness, which, by the way, when you light up that spirit with the right emotional awareness, it can only emotionally and very directly drive a direction towards more love and beauty and more communion. Ponder that. So that's the power waiting in this, both individually and at the, collective level.
If you would like to book a reading with either Danny or myself, check out the QR code above, or I have the link down in the description box below. You can use code AWAKEN for 10% off your reading. So check that out, hang out with us, ask us questions about your chart and anything you got going on. We'd love to talk to you. Also, if you've been getting a lot out of our shows, you've been learning a whole lot, you get a whole human design education here, and you'd like to support us and encourage us, check out our QR code above for our donation link. That's also down in the description box below. And we thank you very, very much.
You've got yourself inner authority, man. Take this, play it back, send it to your friends, and thank you very much, right?
Thank you, Danny. Thank you to everyone who is watching, liking, subscribing, commenting, hanging out with us. We love having you. Thank you for being with us while we grow, and we will catch you next week for another episode.
Till the next time, everyone. Thank you.
Bye.